apologise in advance because a lot of this information is from other people, so I'm going to be more or less reading what other people have told me. Okay, so community news roundup. In June, the Koha community voted to join the Open Library Foundation following the proposal put together by our own Jonathan Field and Brendan Gallagher from Bywater Solutions in America. At Kohacon 24 in Montreal in Canada, which I will talk about in a bit, a transitional steering group was formed to work on the requirement to join the Open Library Foundation. That steering group is putting together a draft version of a Koha Foundation, setting out bylaws, including how the governance will work and how to get involved. If anyone would like more information about that on the Koha Foundation and is interested in getting involved, please speak to Andrew, who has disappeared on me, because he is currently chairing the transitional steering group. Okay, so for the 24.11 cycle, that's just coming into an end this month, Katrin Fischer from BSZ in Germany will be continuing as the release manager for 24/11. Martin from PTFS Europe served as the quality assurance team manager, and in that role he tried to promote some changes to the process. Rather than always targeting the oldest to the newest, he was pushing for criticality, which is a really hard word to say, followed by most recently worked on. This was an attempt to try to reduce the context switching burden and to get people working on the same things at the same time. And in his own words, he believes it had marginal success. There's an update on the community dashboard to reflect these changes. Martin also served as a release manager assistant, stepping in to help Katrin and covering whenever she wasn't around. Pedro and Matt both served as members of the quality assurance team. Matt became the ERM topic expert and supported any and all developments around ERM when asked. Pedro continued as the ILL topic expert and, similar to ERM, supported any and all developments but for ILL. Jacob served as the bug wrangler, helping to triage the bug queue and working on sign-off and testing. Auden Rasa served in the documentation team, trying to work through the backlog of community documentation. Jacob also assisted in the Koha testing Docker maintenance. Why did he give me so many words that are hard to say in a row? Working with Tomas from Thiek to make improvements and keeping the developer environments up and running consistently. Jake assisted in maintaining the continuous integration platform, which runs all of our automated testing systems in the community. So PTFS Europe continued to host a sandboxes system for community testing. The screenshots that you can see on the slide here are of PTF Europe's in progress stuff. I've screenshotted Matt's dashboard, and Martin tells me that the leaderboard makes PTFS Europe look pretty good, as do the stats on the dashboard in general, with 737 pieces of work pushed, 1,238 pieces of work tested for others. For the next cycle, which is 25/05, we have proposed that Martin to continue as quality assurance manager with the aim of further refining the process and pushing for more new members on the quality assurance team. Martin will also continue to support both the release manager, Katrin, and the new release maintainers to try and improve the maintenance routines again. Pedro and Matt will continue to be part of the quality assurance team. Pedro will continue as the ILL topic expert. Matt will likely continue as the ERM expert, as well as stepping into acquisitions more widely. Jacob will continue as the bug wrangler. Odd is continuing as documentation team member. He could have just told me that everybody's continuing in the same roles. And Martin has been asked to help clean up the community wiki. So we'll be looking to find some people to help with that task. Other community things that we are involved in, we took a major role in organising the content for the Marseille Hackfest last year and intend to continue being the main drivers of it next year. A huge amount was discussed at the event and moved a number of discussions forward significantly. The aim of next year will be to return to a more coding-based event using some of the discussions from last year to guide focused development this year. And then on the development focus, The main areas have been worked on, and some of this has already been covered in previous chats, but it doesn't hurt to have a reminder because that was a very long time ago this morning. We are enhancing bookings functionalities, acquisitions, interactive inventory. Jacob worked on this as a plugin that can be quickly installed at any Koha version and allows for taking inventory while on the move from mobile devices, which sounds really exciting. Lots of enhancements to catalog concerns with the aim of making it more generic eventually as a multi-purpose inquiry management module. We helped to update Koha from Bootstrap 3 to Bootstrap 5, which is a more modern user interface framework. We helped to upgrade REST APIs and data tables libraries for performance, security, and maintainability. We've been working on the notices system to try and simplify notice creation and unify the methods behind the scenes. And that is everything Martin told me about, but he suspects there will probably have been lots he missed as well. Essentially, a lot is happening in development. Next up, Kohacon in Montreal. So the two images I have here are from Kohacon in Montreal. The image on the left is a sign directing people to the conference. And I need to point out, if you look really, really closely, PTFS logo is right in the middle at the bottom of that sign because we helped sponsor it. And the image on the right is part of the bag of goodies that presenters received. So there's a poutine, there was maple syrup because it's Canada, there was tea, and there was a couple of other things. Obviously, whenever all that was happening, PTFS had a lot of discussions about what poutine is and if it's tasty. If you want to try it, I personally would not recommend, but some people would. Just my personal opinion. So the theme of Kohacon in 24 was learning and building together. For the first time ever, the conference was bilingual with presentations taking place in both English and French. There were live translators in the auditorium, and each delegate had access to a headset which gave them the option to listen to the presentation in their native language. The conference was also live streamed and recorded, so you can still watch the presentations on YouTube. I would highly recommend checking them out because they were really good and covered some really interesting topics. Andrew, Jonathan, Fiona and Martin were the lucky people who got to present with PTFS Europe that year, so Fiona has given me her thoughts and feelings about it. First and foremost, she tells me that they all had an incredible time, shocker. The conference was extremely well organised by InLibro, who went above and beyond to ensure the programme of activities, both at the conference and outside it, to keep the delegates busy and with plenty of opportunities to network. And that is Fiona's huge takeaway. It was the networking. It was fantastic. The conference brought Koha users from all over the world, providing the opportunity to meet people face to face and really strengthen that community and working together relationship. The first 2 days followed a conference programme with a range of presentations, including some from our own staff. On the first day, Fiona presented alongside Jessie at Bywater Solutions and Rebecca from Cuyahoga, check me out, I pronounced that properly, County Library in Ohio, which is a Bywater Solutions partner, on the bookings module, and looked at how this functionality was developed and how it's being used in both the UK and the US libraries. Martin did a joint presentation with Heather from Bywater on the different ways you can rotate stock with Koha. Andrea and Martin gave a brief update on what has been happening with development-wise since the Marseille Hackfest earlier this year. Jonathan was on stage with Brendan from Bywater and Paul Poulin from Bib Libra talking about the Koha Foundation. There was a talk from Bob Behoff from Colorado Library Consortium overviewing how they manage Aspen in their consortium. Valerie from Bywater Solutions brought data and indexing to life and explained what goes beyond the scenes. There are too many good talks to mention, but as I've already said, you can watch them all on YouTube. And if you would like the link to where they are, do let us know and we can share that with you. Wednesday was a culture day, and this was followed by 2 days of workshops. Martin headed up a group of developers from Bib Libra, LMS Cloud and PTFS Europe, working to further advance the booking functionality he developed last year. Lots has happened there and lots of exciting improvements. in the signing off bugs workshop. Fiona got a badge for signing off her very first patch after testing functionality. I think she's very proud of that because in her notes there was exclamation marks after it. And there was a detailed workshop on the Koha Foundation, and this is the beauty of getting together in person and working with others on things like this. Everyone gets the opportunity to be involved. Aside from the conference itself, the team really enjoyed exploring the wonderful city of Montreal. They attended a nice hockey game and, shockingly, visited some libraries. Okay, so user groups. User groups are a fantastic way for the like-minded libraries to share ideas and workflows. You can find out more about the Koha community and how others are using it, what's going on, collaborate and share developments. So if you're not already part of a user group, please do request to be a member. Chat to any of us. If you don't know of any of the user groups that exist, we will give you more information about them. We don't run them. The customers run them themselves, and we just get invited to them. So it's not a PTFS run thing if you're worried about that. We have a Northwest user group, which is obviously libraries in the Northwest. And there is actually a meeting for them next week, so if you want some information about that, ask Fiona because she has. Or Lorna is here because she is the chair of the Northwest user groups. There's a Health Libraries user group, and that's chaired by Matthew Hale from King's Fund. Andrew attends these meetings as he's the account manager for the Health Libraries. There's a Metabase user group, but they don't currently have a chair, so if anybody wants to step up who's using Metabase and wants to be the chair of that user group, please do. Let Fiona know and she will organise that for you. And there are other user groups. There's a music.
What do you wave? She's still being Karen.
No, she's going to
Yeah.
She's there.
Oh dear. Yeah, so there are other examples of user groups, so please look out for them, ask us, and we will give you the details if you would like to sign. Mattermost has already been mentioned by Andrew this morning, but I'm going to bring it up again. Sign up for it. If you don't know how to, let us know and we will get you signed up for it, and you can see everything that's going on, in particular the libraries channel where a lot of information is going on that you might want to know about. All right. I feel like I should reference the fact that I'm like Andrea and I throw in pretty pictures every now and then. Odd and Jacob attended the very first AspenCon in 2024. It was held in Golden, Colorado in America in March, and the two images were taken by Odd because they got just a tiny little bit of snow during it. They may have had to cancel part of the conference and go skiing, as you do, you know. They wrote a great blog about it, and if you can find it on the PTFS website, if you haven't already read it, I highly recommend it. Again, we will tell you where it is if you want to ask us. They said that it was great for so many of the American community to make the trip to Colorado for it, but for them, they got to meet in person some of the people they've been speaking to and writing to online, but find it much easier to have those real life interactions. Jacob did a workshop on the Aspen development environment he created, which was really popular, and they both presented the UK uses of Aspen, which areas people use the most and are interested in. Key features. I don't really have to do a lot on this page because Alexander and Lizzie and the morning talks on Aspen covered quite a lot of these for me, but what I will say is that our curated release notes for Aspen will have been emailed to you, but if you didn't receive them, please do let us know. Our plan going forward is to publish these on the website, and that's an ongoing plan that the team are working on. Odd gave me her favourite key features, which includes the grapes page, the cookie banner and tracking consent, map and image for each library in library hours and location, Lit Europe, and we're fangirls too, that scan and find out what book you want to add it to your list. Favourite for all of us. Aspen gatherings are held on the first Thursday of the month. They are a community meeting to discuss Aspen features, upcoming releases and how libraries are leveraging Aspen. If you haven't attended one, if you don't know where to find that, again, let us know. We will give you the links to them. I'll add them into the presentation as well, so that'll make it easier for everybody. And then Meeting recorders, agendas and notes are available on the Bywater Solutions website, so please have a look at that too. I don't have much more to go. I'm talking as fast as I can. Okay, things are in development all the time for Aspen Discovery. We've already covered a lot of things here, so I might actually just skip ahead. The only thing I'm going to mention is that an Aspen Governance Task Force was recently formed, and Andrew is representing the UK and Europe, so again, please do ask him about that if you would like some more information. And then the only thing that I am going to jump ahead and talk about here is Jacob gave me his notes on the Aspen Dev Box, or ADB. It's the containerized dev environment for Aspen Discovery. He tells me that this is fancy talk for an instance of Aspen Discovery that devs can bring up in a self-contained bubble and mess with as they please with no worry if they break something. If something does break, they can pop the bubble and destroy everything inside, only to create another bubble with a base default install in seconds. It also allows them to debug locally any issues that might arise in the code, and allows them to see any variables and how they are changing what they are set to in real time. It's used by developers all over the world, including Think Solutions and Bywater Solutions, to allow fast and easy developments that can be tested in fresh, isolated installs easily. It was also developed by us. When I say us, I mean Jacob. My only complaint personally is that ADB doesn't stand for Aspen Dev Bubble rather than Box, because he talks about bubbles in it, but that's just me. The dev team are also starting to drive discussions on how the community in Aspen should be set up around the product. So similar to Koha, have people working on things, have more of, develop more on the wiki and things like that. So I only have one more slide, and it's about resources for Aspen. We are developing these all the time. Andrew mentioned earlier, were guest stars on the Aspen Academy. If you've not already seen them, I highly recommend that you go to the Aspen Discovery Help Centre, where there is a growing wealth of information, including the recordings of the Aspen Academies. We started holding Aspen in Action meetings in 2024 every 6 months, but from 2025, due to popular demand, it will be every 4 months. The next one is on Tuesday the 14th of January at 11 o'clock, and it's only an hour long. Currently, we just send the information on our Aspen customers mailing list, so if you do have Aspen and haven't received this information, please let us know and we will update this. But as I say, going forward, we're going to start to put more of those things on our actual website itself, so that they're more central and there isn't any room for error. And those are my updates.